Shut the f up out there. Welcome, Gothamites, to Waiting for Batman, where I, your host and humblest of Bat fans, Ely Wilbur, pay weekly homage to the Dark Knight himself. Did any of you guys catch the Super Bowl this weekend? Did anyone else notice the supreme lack of Batman vs. Superman trailer? It's the only reason I even watched the Super Bowl. This week on Gotham, we got to see our first look at the future Scarecrow, and Edward Nygma took yet another step closer to becoming the Riddler. We also got to see some pictures from movies we can't wait to see, and TNT's Teen Titans TV show got its cast list. Try saying that 5 times fast. But first, let's dive into the Rogues Gallery for some Gotham review. This week's Gotham gave us our very first look at Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow. But surprisingly enough, it was his dad who was the focus of the episode, a man who was so obsessed with phobias that he tortured his victims using their greatest fears, and then after death, he would take their adrenal glands. Now, does that mean that this is the first ingredient in the Scarecrow's infamous fear toxin? I think a lot of people were kind of surprised when we did see that it was not actually Jonathan Crane, but it was Jonathan Crane's dad who was, for now, we'll call him the Scarecrow, but there was no hinting or referencing to the name of the Scarecrow. It was all about fear. It was great to kind of see and explore the making of what I would assume is the fear toxin that the Scarecrow is so well known for. He uses it to basically incapacitate Batman. I mean, it's one of the few times that we actually get to see Batman really weak is when he gets doused with some fear toxin. It's when he realizes his fear of failing the city and bats and all that great stuff. So it's cool to see the start of Jonathan Crane. Again, it was very surprising to see that it was Jonathan's dad who starts the fear toxin formula, and we'll see what ends up happening with Jonathan. Hopefully we'll get to see more Jonathan Crane and his development into the Scarecrow later on in the show. I assume that that's where we're going to go with it. What do you guys think? I mean, there seems to be a lot of talk about people not too stoked about all of the familiar characters, all the familiar villains in the show, and watching their upbringing and how they became villains. I think it's awesome to finally see a superhero TV show that doesn't focus on the superhero. I mean, yeah, we get to see a lot of Bruce Wayne, but it's very minimal compared to how much of the supervillains we're seeing develop in the show. Poison Ivy, Catwoman, now Scarecrow, Riddler, Penguin, all these infamous villains in the Rogues Gallery who are we're finally starting to see why they became villains and who they are really, other than just these super criminals. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. A villain who has definitely got a lot of fans interested is Edward Nygma, who we're starting to see go down a dark, dark path. He commits his first weird and twisted crime against GCP's coroner, who doesn't like Ed. For me, it's really exciting to see Edward kind of start to go down the dark path of what we can only assume is going to becoming the Riddler. However, this coroner, the guy who he stuffed a bunch of dead body parts into the coroner's locker to make it look like he was stealing body parts. That's pretty awesome, and I think it was a really awesome play on Ed's part because the coroner didn't like Ed, and at the end of the day, the coroner was a bad guy. We saw in the previous episode that he lied for Detective Flass. If you played Arkham Origins at all, we see that the Riddler, aka I think they just call him Enigma, he is more about, he wants to help. He considers himself on the same playing field as Batman, who wants to help people, he wants to stop the corrupt, but he doesn't go about it the right way. He goes about it in a way that could ruin lives. So is that the path that we're going to be seeing this Edward Nygma take in Gotham? Is he going to be all about taking down the corrupt, but not in the right way? I love the guy who plays the Riddler. I think he's a great actor, and it's fun to see him start to go down the path of the Riddler. And the Penguin gets out of yet another tight spot when Salvador Maroni finds out the truth about him from Fish Mooney. It's interesting because I was a real heavy supporter of the Penguin and his cause to get on top. But now I still like seeing his progression and watching him, and I'm rooting for him in a way. But now it's in a way where it's just like, oh, you're just so evil, and you're just such a bad person, and I kind of hate him, but I love him. He's a character you love to hate, because now I'm starting to see him become the Penguin. I hate this guy. I've always hated the Penguin, but in a good way. Like, not in a way of like, oh, I think this character is worthless and to get rid of him. Just in a way of like, he is such a bad person. He's so gross and grotesque and just a disgusting human being in general. And like, every time you hear him on the video games taunting Batman, I just want to punch him in his stupid pointy nose. But that's what you need in a bad guy. And Salvador, he finds out the truth. He figures out that Penguin has been playing him all along. But hey, let me know what your favorite part of this episode was. Was it the second reference to Professor Pig, Gordon's budding romance with Leslie Tompkins, or was it Bullock's surprisingly graceful diving skills? Let me know down in the Bat comments below. Alright guys, moving from TV into the Batman cinematic universe, we've got some waiting for Batfleck news for you. A photo of Zack Snyder on the set of what is assumed to be the Batman vs. Superman film has popped up. It is absolutely unclear as to which set or even what film is being worked on in this photo. But popular opinion is that it is on the set of Batman vs. Superman. A lot of people are speculating that it could also be from a past film as well. It's really hard to say. I honestly would love for it to be on the set of Batman vs. Superman. There's no clear evidence or proof. Nothing is really said for sure where this picture is being taken. If I had to assume that this was on the set of Batman vs. Superman and what set this might be, from the background, you know, you look at the photo, it looks like that the place is destroyed. It could be a flashback from the Grand Central Station from Man of Steel when Superman is fighting Zod and they're in the train station. That place got pretty much destroyed. It does kind of look like it could be there. It could also maybe a destroyed Wayne Manor. That's kind of what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like the set from Man of Steel. It looks like something new, something different. It could even be Arkham Asylum. Until someone from the set or Zack Snyder comes out and says, hey, this is where that set is, or until we see the movie, we won't know. We were expecting kind of to see maybe something during the Super Bowl. We were hoping to see a teaser trailer or maybe the scene from Comic-Con. And unfortunately, we were met with some major disappointment. At least I was. That was the only reason I really was excited to watch the Super Bowl. Maybe some of the commercials were okay. It was a very depressing Super Bowl. We still have a chance to see a trailer with some upcoming films, Jupiter Ascending, as well as Mad Max Fury Road. One of those two films are rumored to have a trailer or teaser for Batman vs. Superman. So we just gotta wait and see. Who knows? I can't wait. I can't wait to see this film. It can't come soon enough, guys. It can't come soon enough. And elsewhere in the Bat universe, TNT's upcoming Teen Titans show announces their superhero lineup. The cast is said to include Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon's Oracle, Hawk and Dove, Raven, and Starfire. Now, right now, it seems that the story is going to start with Dick Grayson as Robin, and then we're going to see him take on the Nightwing mantle as part of his falling out with Batman. Which means, guys, that Batman exists in this universe, that in the show, and they're not calling it Teen Titan, it sounds like they're just calling it the Titans, which is fine. You don't want it, especially if they're going to be having older actors playing the Titans. It's a little cheesy to call it Teen Titans. Let's call it Titans. It's the same characters, but they're not teens, and I like that idea. But the idea is that Batman does exist in this universe. He will be referenced, it sounds like. Will he make an appearance? It is said that they are starting to talk about Batman finally making an appearance in shows like The Arrow or maybe The Flash. It's about time that we start to see Batman in the TV DC universe, because look, I love Bat movies, and I want to see as many Bat movies as possible, but I don't see a reason why we can't see more Batman in the TV universe, because we've got Gotham, and that's great, And like you've heard me say, I believe that this little kid is Batman. It's the progression of Batman. But I want to see adult Batman. I want to see Batman with the gadgets. I want to see a TV version of Batman. Because the last time we've seen a TV version of Batman is Batman 66. So it would be cool to see a Batman appearance in Teen Titans. It'd be interesting to see if that universe is going to fit in with Arrow and Flash or Supergirl or any of the other DC TV shows that are out there right now. But it's exciting to see that we're gonna finally see Nightwing on screen. We're gonna see some Oracle, which Oracle has appeared on television. Don't forget, guys, Birds of Prey was a TV show at one point, and the Oracle was a major part of that show. So this will be the second time that we see Oracle on television in a DC TV show. So that's kind of cool. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for TNT's Teen Titans, or would you rather just a Batman show? Because I'd be down for all of it. Give me everything. I'm in either way. But what would you like to see? Let me know down in the comments below. But hey, that's it for this week's Waiting for Batman. Don't forget to share your thoughts with us down in the comments below. And hey, you can always find me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as @Auburn's own Eli. But until next week, guys, I'm Eli Wilbur, and this has been Waiting for Batman here on the Villains of YouTube. I will see you guys next week. And if I don't, I'm sicking Batman on your ass. I swear to God, I'll do it. Don't test me. Don't test me.